Okay, so one thing I want to reiterate about these two authors. Remember, we're still going through Dragons of Autumn Twilight, the first in the DragonLance books, is that Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman do something that I wish more authors would do, and I've tried to do it in my own writing. Yes, there are dark times and there are bad things that happen. I mean, they were facing dragons and draconians and a big giant war coming, and gods returning to the face of Kryn. But there are lighthearted moments that occur. And that's kind of life, right? There are dark moments, there are light moments, there are just moments that happen. And if you make it all dark or all comedy, it's just not real life. So they do a very good job of balancing those two out. So yes, there are dark things and there are funny things. And this chapter is no, these two chapters are no exceptions. So when we last left, Riverwind was off, had just been really hurt by the dragon. And all this while they were off facing the dragon, some of the companions scattered, and Goldmoon had found her way into this old abandoned temple to the gods, which is where Riverwind originally got the staff, the blue crystal staff. And she's given more healing powers, I think. She certainly learns a lot about their mission, which is to go find the discs of Mishakal, or however you pronounce that. But while she's in there, Riverwind gets, ripped apart by the dragon, or burnt to a crisp. He's got internal organs exposed. He's basically going to die. So she orders him brought inside into the temple, which they do. She somehow uses the staff to bring him essentially back to full strength, full health, which it could be called, one of the greatest gifts ever, is you now have this ability to bring back, so heal people essentially. Then the companions finally get a night's rest. They're held up in this temple. Get a little bit of a chance to sleep and recover and recuperate. Have to get ready for the next day. Of course, now you're trying to face a day where you may very well wind up fighting a dragon. You don't know. And they meet this interesting group of people that are going to help people, creatures that are going to help them, called gully dwarves. Flint's not a big fan, but gully dwarves are not necessarily all that smart, right? So they do things like, well, how many, the companions are talking about, how many, draconians are down there? Of course, the gully dwarves call them the big bosses. They don't call them draconians, but yeah. So how many are down there? And they're like, well, there's one and one and one and one and one. There's two of them. So, of course, it drives you nuts being helped out by somebody who legit can help you, but can't necessarily communicate with you all that well. So it's kind of a lighthearted little moment. And turns out the gully dwarves are quite helpful, and especially once our mage friend casts a little spell of friendship over them, they all kind of love him after that. And we meet a character that I think is sort of the mage's one lifetime person that he actually cares about, in the form of Bupu, who's this gully dwarf that kind of impresses him. But I think it's a really interesting pair of chapters. And the thing I'm noticing about this book as I go deeper into it, something I didn't notice last time I read it, which was years ago, that we seem to have a chapter of action and a chapter of recovery, action, recovery, action, recovery. Yes, it's patternistic, and but it also helps you kind of ride the roller coaster and makes the whole thing into a real page turner. And I love it when these two authors work together. I've never, there's oftentimes you see writing pairs that work well. You see some authors who are fantastic by themselves. There's a couple authors in a different genre that I love it when they work together, but I don't really like either of their writing separately. So but these two working together is just fantastic. I can't say enough good things. So continue to check it out, follow along with the videos, and if you are looking for a system that will help you keep your social media up to date, I always use the One for All platform. It lets you put all of your accounts across all the different platforms in one dashboard, so you don't have to go to 6 or 7 different places. Pretty simple, even as a mobile app. So everybody enjoy. Have a great evening.